Start with an opening statement from Coach, then we'll have questions.
Oh man, usually you go in the locker room and you're just like jumping around after a win like this, first conference win of the season. But man, I told my staff I need some energy. I'm exhausted after that. And the beautiful thing about this, a great exhaustion, and that's what the Valley is. It's, man, these games are intense, and you have to learn how to win great, pretty, and you have to learn how to win ugly. And I'm so proud of these two. I'm so proud of the whole team because they're growing. They're growing, and we had just kept coming up short in these games. Games that we shouldn't have won, whatever it is. Games we were picked to lose. We just kept coming up a couple possessions short, and finally, these guys are able to have the possessions go our way. And so, this is what the Valley is. I told the team in the locker room, this is what it feels like, and this is how we're going to have to win. It's going to be these type of games. So we got to take this step of growth because a big part of what we're doing is developing. We're just continuing to develop this team, getting better. And now the next step is, can we do it again? Can we do it again? But the last thing I would say is every team you play against is a quality opponent. And hats off to UIC. They did an unbelievable job. They were switching defenses, trying to mess with us a little bit. But if you look at their record, you may think to themselves, like, they're towards the bottom of our conference. You got to remember, man, they had Belmont on the ropes at Belmont. They had Murray State on the ropes and UNI. So we just beat a really good team. And that's what this Valley is. It doesn't matter who you play, when you play, how you play. It's going to be a brawl. And we got a lot tougher today.
JT, how does it feel to get your first Missouri Valley Conference win?
It felt weird, like we were all jumping around the locker room, going crazy. It feels good. Coming up, we came up short these past couple of games, and being able to just really listen to the coaching, understanding what we have to change, and implementing that feels good that we were able to get this one done.
Justice, first win over a D1 opponent since November 29th. Just how good does it feel to get in the locker room and celebrate that?
It feels great. Kind of like they said, a lot of the games we've been playing in were really close. Fell short. Felt like we could have won a lot of them. So just being able to look at the scoreboard and you're on top at the end, just going to the locker room, celebrating, seeing the fans happy, it means everything.
When you checked out of the game with 10 seconds left or whatever, there was a really loud ovation for you. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot. Again, like you said, when we lose, like I said, when we lose, the fans can't really cheer for anything. So just hearing the fans cheer, knowing that we're going to win, it meant a lot.
One thing I want to say about this young man is, first of all, you have to tell us how long it's been since we had D1 win. That was a dagger. I'm just joking. We challenged him to get defensive rebounds late in the game. And we made it an emphasis. We showed film on it. And he came out and he had 6 rebounds for us, 6 defensive rebounds. And those rebounds he had late in the game literally were the game. If he doesn't get those rebounds, you never know what happens. So he grew up a ton this game, and I'm so proud of him.
And Justice, to that end, you get those rebounds, you get fouled, you go to the line, and you hit the majority of your shots, 9 of them in the last 4 minutes. Just what was that like to know the game is kind of on your shoulders when you're at the line there, continually hitting those shots?
In practice, we work on free throws a lot before we start practice, after practice. So, and a big emphasis for me was last year I didn't shoot as well from the line. I think it was like low 70s. I wanted to make it a emphasis that I make those free throws, especially late in the game, so we can seal the win. So making those free throws, it was very vital for me.
JT, similar question. I think early in the year, there are times you get fouled and miss both, miss the front end of a one-on-one, things like that. You went 10 of 10 today, including 3 early on a foul three-point. Those 3 free throws, how much did those set the tone for kind of this game for you?
I think like the first 3, it definitely it set the tone. It got me going. Like being able to get to the line, see the ball go in. That's always how you want to start the game. So that felt good. But like Justice said, I wasn't shooting the best early in the season, but coaching staff helped me shooting form, just on the line, just focusing. They gave me multiple tips, and I'm continuing to grow and I'm getting more comfortable. I'm learning.
Roger, JT played really well at Southern Illinois and then a career high today. Just talk about his growth a little bit and what he's meant as this year's gone on.
When we first started recruiting JT, man, he's just unbelievable character kid. I knew he was going to be special. I thought it would take some time, but it's happening faster than what we all probably thought. And but he's extremely humble, and he really has taken a love to our culture, and he's been a part of our culture. And it's just fun when you have a guy like this, because you're really happy for him. You know, he's really selfless, and I can't say more about just who he is as a young man. The production on the court's great, but when you have the character that he has and the selflessness and the humility that he has, it makes it that much more enjoyable. And one thing that we talked about, we had meetings and stuff, is we wanted to continue to develop him. You know, some of these games throughout the season, like not really being so caught up in the record, not being so caught up in stats, but just focus on, okay, how can I get better next game? In practice, extra work, you know, working on finishing and all those things. And he's been doing it. And he's been putting extra work in, and I think you're going to see him continue to get better and improve as the season goes on.
Roger, just your defense down the stretch, I think you held them to one field goal in the last 4.5 minutes of the game. You turned them over a lot in key stretches of the game. Can you talk about your defense and what they meant for you?
I think that's something that probably is understated a little bit. Just we have been guarding teams. You know, our last couple games we didn't shoot the ball great, and I think this was a game where we have to kind of look at and think about it. We only took 11 threes. We made 5 of them, and you know we shot well. So you know, I think with that being said, we need to continue to guard like we've been guarding, and then, you know, maybe a big thing is just limiting how many threes we shoot, because, you know, when we shoot quality shots and when we're putting pressure on the rim and getting in the bonus, our defense, along with that style of play, I think that's a formula for us to be successful.
I've asked you about this in the other direction, so I feel like I'm not doing my job if I don't ask you about it in this direction. You had 43 throw attempts to 17 from them. What were you able to do to generate so much contact to get to the line?
Man, I think a big thing, that was a big emphasis for us. You know, we had watched film and we prepared. We saw, like last game, that Henderson fouled out and they switch a lot. So we wanted to put a big emphasis on trying to post up strong, post up hard. And I think that was the kind of initial, you know, and we did it. I mean, all these guys, they executed that. And then the next is not shooting so many threes. You know, not shooting so many threes, getting into the paint, attacking the glass. I think that really helped us. And I think we need to look at that as a formula. You know, like a lot of these games, we aren't getting as many free throws. You know, maybe we're shooting too many jumpers. Maybe we're not being more aggressive in the paint. And that's something I think that we did today. Did a good job.
You've got Illinois State next. I know that school means a lot to your family. You did not get a chance to play him here last year because of unbalanced scheduling. Just how much do you look forward to any time matching up with the Redbirds, just with your family connection?
No, I can't wait. I know, you know, Justice was like, he said he wish he can play right now. I mean, it's fun, especially when you can win some of these games. But at the end of the day, you know, the family feel growing up going to Illinois State as a young kid, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm focused on trying to get better and trying to win the game. You know, I'm beyond all that stuff. It doesn't matter right now. This is a gritty league, and it's a gritty season, and we got a team coming in here that's feeling good. We got to bring the grit, and we got to continue to keep this win thing going here in front of our fans.
Thank you.
Thank you.